This picture is being painted by a woman who was hired by the famous artist Mark Kostabi. If she signs it, it will be virtually worthless. But when Mark Kostabi signs it, it will be worth a fortune. Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Mark Kostabi.
Number 2.
My name is Mark Kostabi.
Number 3.
My name is Mark Kostabi.
Only one of these people is the real Mark Kostabi, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, let's meet our panel. Co-star of Murder, She Wrote, Ron Masak. Syndicated newspaper columnist and reporter for A Current Affair, Cindy Adams. Four-time Super Bowl champion and MVP, Lynn Swan. And Emmy Award winner for the Golden Girls, Betty White. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Gordon Elliott.
Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome, panel. And let's get right to the story presented by our first team of challengers, all three of whom claim to be Mark Kostabi. And this is his story. Please read along with me. I, Mark Kostabi, am a professional artist. As you can see, my latest painting is being completed right now. Why is it being painted by another artist? Because I hire people to paint my pictures for me. All I do is sign them and sell them. Look at them. Fake Kostabis with real Kostabi signatures. You'll find them hanging in such prestigious museums as the Guggenheim and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Museums buy Kostabis. Sylvester Stallone buys Kostabis. Suckers buy Kostabis. For as much as $50,000. I may not be a great artist, but I'm a fantastic con artist. Signed, Mark Kostabi. Gentlemen, and good luck, and we'll find more about this con artist right after this break. Welcome back to Tell the Truth. All right, panel, these three people all claim to be Mark Kostabi, an artist who doesn't paint his own pictures. Let's start the questioning with Betty White.
Well, this is just a general comment that this is not the place to come if you don't want to blow your cover. I'm not sure how many more paintings you're going to sell after you've been on this show. Number 2, what did this mean as you're coming down the stairs?
Oh, that's something I just do for effect to keep things interesting.
Number 3, when did you stop painting your own pictures?
Oh, in 1986. I've always painted since I was a kid. I still paint on Sundays, but I started letting other people paint for me in 1986.
We're going to move along. Lynn Swan.
Number 1, why did you give up painting?
I found that it was more profitable to have other people do it for me.
Okay. Number 2, are you really taking people for their money, or is there some other hook we don't know quite at the moment?
No, it's an old-fashioned technique of making art. My peers in art history are Rubens, Rembrandt, and Raphael. They all had assistants make their works for them, too.
Okay, Cindy Adams.
Number 1, so where do you paint these Kostabis by the yard?
I don't paint them, but they're done at Kostabi World in New York.
I see. Number 2, if you're supposed to be a con artist, would you be offended if I said, I don't know what the hell these things are supposed to be saying?
Well, I have multiple personas, and only one of them is a con artist. I'm a really nice guy.
Oh,
and I actually don't know what most of those paintings mean myself, because my idea people thought them up for me.
I see. Number 3, since the Japanese are buying everything, are you very hot in Tokyo?
Yes, I am. The Japanese like it because it's faceless. All my paintings are faceless, if you notice. And they like that because it's universal.
Do they
the Japanese like to invest in art, especially nowadays.
Number 1, what is the...
Sorry, Cindy. Ron.
This may be the first time in the history of this show that all three of them are frauds. Number 2, the painting over here on with the television set. What does that mean? The one on the wall back there.
Number 2?
Yes.
With the TV set?
Yes.
Well, television is the only art form that remains in society. In fact, television producers are the only artists that exist.
Thank you. Number 3, does Stallone know that he paid $50,000 for a fake?
Well, he didn't pay $50,000. He paid $70,000. And,
does he know it's a fake?
yeah, Mr. Stallone and I are not on the best terms right now.
Yeah, I would think so.
I wonder why. Don't I can't put my finger on it myself. Time's up, panel. Time to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote, with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is fooled completely, the team will receive $3,000. Panel, are you ready to cast your votes? If so, we'll begin with Betty.
Well, number 2 is staring me right in the eye like he's trying to make me think that he's not, you know, he's a con artist if I ever saw one. Number 1, I think they cast because he looks like an artist. Number 3, if Sylvester Stallone ever finds out that you took him for $7,000, he'll put those shades down in a minute. I'm going to go for number 3. Number 3. No, number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Are you sure, Betty?
No, I had the wrong card in my hand, but I'm stuck with it now. I can't change it.
Come on, you can vote for that. Come on. Number 3. Change it. There we go.
Thank you.
All righty, Lynn.
Well, I voted for number 1, number 2. No, actually, I did vote for number 2. I just figured number 3 is just a little too flamboyant. I mean, he...
You fell for this.
Yeah, look, who does that? I mean, who does this? I mean, some guy who wants... I don't know.
scores a touchdown in the NFL.
I mean, I was confused with all the handshaking and stuff. I mean, he's walking around going like this. I don't know. I think if you're a con artist, you keep a low profile while you're ripping people off for money. He's dressed very sedately. Number 2.
Okay. Cindy.
Well, since I know Mark Kastabi, I have to disqualify myself, so that takes care of that.
Okay. All right, that goes down as an incorrect vote. And
How much
Ron.
did you pay for your painting?
I was just going to say, how much did you pay Cindy for that painting? I kind of eliminated... Number 2 got me with the word he has other persona. And that sounds like someone who doesn't care he's rich enough he's going to leave.
Okay, there you go. The votes are all in. No for number 1. Not a 1. 2 for number 2. 1 vote for number 3, and a disqualification, which goes as an incorrect vote. Now it's time to find out who the real con artist really is. Will the real Mark Kastabi please stand up and sign your painting?
Yeah, but that's the first one.
Now, as you sign it, Mark, it's going from worth nothing to how much?
Well, it's worth the canvas and paint that it's worth on now. And now it would normally be worth about $7,000 because it's 40 by 30 inches, and the Japanese like that size. But since it's on television, it's worth $50,000. But since I have so much respect for television producers because they're the real artists in society, Mark Goodson can have it for $10,000.
Well, I'm sure he'll be thrilled at that offer.
Goodson want a picture of the guy doing his ironing. I don't understand.
There's aesthetic principles involved,
I
Betty,
see.
and we'll discuss them later. Okay, now, imposter number 1. What's your real name and occupation?
My name is Michael Pasby, and I am a bartender.
Okay. Number 3, your real name and occupation.
My name is Michael Hughes, and I'm an ex-Beverly Hills cat burglar, and now I'm a security consultant.
You've got to come back for another appearance on the show. Well, there were 2 incorrect votes at $500 a vote, so you get $1,000. And Mark and the team, thanks all for being here with us today on To Tell the Truth. And we'll be back when we meet a man who overcame paralysis to become a world-class athlete. Well, we're back. Let's meet our next team of challengers.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Doug Ayer.
Number 2.
My name is Doug Ayer.
Number 3.
My name is Doug Ayer.
Okay, panel, it's up to you to locate the real Douglas Ayer, and here is his story, if you'd like to read along with me. I, Doug Ayer, am the best overall wheelchair athlete in the world. At the age of 18, while working as a lifeguard, I was injured during a rescue attempt and left paralyzed. What had been a promising career in sports was seemingly over. When my rehabilitation began, I could barely lift 1-pound wrist weights. Now I can raise more than 400 pounds over my head. In 1984, I represented America in the Summer Olympics. After I broke 2 world records and won 3 gold medals, my picture was put on the box of Wheaties, the breakfast of champions. This year, I served as a United States delegate to Russia, where I worked with injured veterans of the Afghanistan war to help them overcome their disabilities. Signed, Doug Air. Okay, guys, good luck, contestants, and the real Doug Air. Let's start the questioning with Ron Mazak.
Well, I salute you, whoever you are, sir. Number 3, during the rescue, I don't want to bring up a sad point in your life, but what caused the paralysis in a lifeguard rescue?
Well, I was lifeguarding, and there was a boy screaming for help. And I dove off of a lifeguard stand, and I hit my head on the bottom of a shallow pool. And that's what caused it.
Number 2, what's the toughest thing to get across to these veterans that you work with to overcome their disabilities? What's the hardest thing for them to overcome?
Well, the USSR is far behind the United States in taking care of the handicapped, or as I like to say, the physically challenged. And that there is hope, and to be patient, and it's better to be a participant in life than an onlooker.
Number 1, what sport?
Sorry, time's up. Cindy.
Number 3, because you lift weights, has the upper part of your body grown thicker and more muscular than the bottom part of your body?
Yes, it has.
Number 2, what's the first thing that went through your mind when you realized your career was over? Or did you know instantly that you were going to pick yourself up?
No, to be honest with you, I was suicidal at the beginning.
Number 1, what was it that that finally turned the corner for you when you decided to pick yourself up?
I realized that I couldn't change what happened, and I had to deal with the present.
Sorry, Lynn Swan.
Number 3, what promising sports career did you leave behind because of the paralysis?
I want to be a professional football player.
Oh, okay. Very promising. I love those careers. Number 1, you say you lift over 400 pounds over your head. What lift?
It's a bench press.
It's a bench press. Okay. Number 2, how long now have you been paralyzed?
12 years.
12 years. Okay. Number 2, what was the most difficult thing you had to deal with in getting back your strength?
Well, starting with I used to bench press 250 pounds before the accident, and then being able to do 1 pound was pretty frustrating.
So mental aspect of it.
Betty?
Number 3, do you speak Russian?
No, I don't. Couple words, glasnost.
Number 2, how did you communicate when you were over there as a delegate?
There were translators provided.
Number 1, how long from the time you lifted those 1-pound weights till the time you could bench press 400 pounds?
It was a number of years, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Did you use, number 2, did you use anybody as sort of a role model?
Yes, my brother Brian.
Older brother, younger brother?
Older brother.
Time's up, panel. Time now to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote, with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is fooled completely, the team will receive $3,000. Panel, if you're ready to cast your ballots, let's begin with Ron.
Very, very tough, Gordon. I think all of them have the right answers, and the Wheaties being the breakfast of champions, any one of those 3 gentlemen could have their picture on there, but just because I guess we asked him more questions, number 2 had all the answers. So I went with number 2.
Cindy.
Number 2 definitely has the up look, you know, the fact that he's going to make the world and he's going to kill the world. He's got that. But number 3 has the upper part of his body that's very muscular and developed. So I go with number 3. I'd like to go with number 3 no matter where he went. Let's face it, you know.
Lynn Swan.
He can pick you up and take you for a ride. I don't know what's going to happen
I'm ready, baby.
after
I'm
that.
ready.
Okay, I was noticing number 1 kept looking over at like number 2, like he was very interested in his story. I think anybody who is going through that kind of a thing, you might, you know, you would have to admire what you've accomplished and what you're doing in your life. So I kind of got the impression it was number 2. He seemed poised, the kind of guy you'd send over to Russia, to the Soviet Union, and do that kind of work. So I voted for number 2.
Okay, and Betty White.
Well, I feel sure this time, and that's a sign that I'm certainly wrong, but I'm a hands person. I watched Hands, and all of them were very handy with the wheelchair, but number 2, somehow he locked the brake when he pulled up, and his hands on the wheels looked like they'd been on there for quite a while. I'd go for number 2.
Okay, well, there we go. The votes are all in. The panel agrees, so this is going to be a disaster, as it always is. Let's find out who the real champion is. Will the real Doug Weir please lift up your box of Wheaties?
He traded it well. He gave you all that stuff. He traded it well.
Okay. They've done it again. There you go. You know that Lynn Swan has got 1 right in 5 days. 1 right.
That's it.
Okay. Let me ask you, Doug.
It's a plot.
It is a plot. Doug, what's your favorite event?
Well, first I thought you were going to ask me to stand up, and I was disappointed. Well, to throw in the shot put, certainly.
Really?
And outside of that, women's mud wrestling, I think is...
Are you kidding? That's one of my favorites, too. Congratulations on all your achievements. Great to have you here today. Doug Weir, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find out who our imposters really are. Number 2, you smooth-talking dude. What do you really do? What's your name?
My name is Bob Blongowitz. I'm an account manager with Sheraton Hotels. I have to say I was very honored to play Doug today. It was really...
Number 3, 1 vote. What's your real name?
Hi, Cindy. My name is David Burson, and I'm a landscaper. And I'm also very happy to be able to work with Doug today.
And his number is number 3. And we'll be back playing one-on-one. Oh, sorry, hate to tell you this, but you just won another $3,000 because you stumped the panel. Thank you for being with us today on Tell the Truth. And we'll be back with playing one-on-one with someone from our studio audience right after this. Welcome back. Now it's time to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience. Burton, who do you have for us today?
Well, today, Gordon, I'd like you to meet Frank Abate from Marlboro, New Jersey.
How you doing? Hello, Gordon.
Hello, Frank. Long way to travel for a television appearance.
We had to drop off the daughter at college. That's why we're here, part of a vacation.
Well, let's see if we can pay for some of that tuition fees. Here's your chance to play one-on-one. I want you to meet a lady with 2 stories to tell you. Michelle Roth. Welcome, Michelle. Now, Michelle is going to tell us 2 stories, Frank, only one of which is the truth. If you can spot that true story, you'll win $500. Michelle, what's your first story?
I'm a clothes designer. I design all the fashions for the famous Barbie doll.
Now, that may or may not be the truth. Let's listen to Michelle's second story.
I'm a professional screamer. I did all the screams for an actress in the movie Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Now, Frank, to help you win this money, the panel's going to ask 1 question about each of those stories. We're going to start with story number 1, Barbie's clothes designer, and Betty.
What's the top-selling clothes unit that Barbie sells today?
The bridal gown.
Oh, still.
Lynn.
What's the most expensive dress you've ever designed for Barbie?
I've designed an evening gown that sells for $29.95.
Cindy.
Are the fashions getting more modern, or is she still stuck in that same old mold?
Oh, she's very trendy.
Oh, very good.
Over the years, how many gowns has Barbie had?
She's had hundreds.
And poor Ken's got that one lousy suit.
Shit. Ken gets nothing. Okay, Frank, you've heard Michelle's first story and the questions. Let's story number 2, the screamer, Betty.
What was the first professional scream you ever did?
Oh, I think when I was a kid.
Lynn.
How many different kinds of screams are there?
There are about 25.
How do you prepare your throat for a day of screaming?
Oh, you drink a lot of tea and honey.
Now, Frank,
yes,
you've heard
dear.
the cross-examination. Is Michelle, in your mind, Barbie's clothes... Oh, sorry about that.
That's
Sorry.
all right, Gertie. I was going to get her to scream for you, but now I won't.
Sorry, Ron. Go right ahead.
No, you know, does your throat clear up or does it stay like mine?
Oh, I hope it stays clear.
Okay.
Now, Frank, you've heard the cross-examination. People in the audience were telling me I'd done it wrong. I mean, they know the show better than I do. Is Michelle's Barbie clothes... Is Michelle, you can tell us, Frank, is Michelle Barbie's clothes designer, or is she a professional screamer?
No, I don't think she's a screamer. She's not big enough. I have to go with the Barbie clothes
All righty. Now, if you are right, you win $500. Michelle, what is your real story?
To tell the truth, I am the screamer.
Sorry, Frank. We've got a very nice prize for you, and thanks for playing one-on-one with us today.
Thank you, Gordon.
Okay. Now, for stumping our friend Frank, you will receive $1,000, Michelle.
That's wonderful.
But would you mind screaming for us? Can we hear that scream that you did for Kate Capshaw in Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. We'll be right back after these words. Well, that's it for this edition of To Tell the Truth. Thank you, panel. You're all marvelous. See you again. We'll see you next time as well. Bye-bye.
GSN is booking you on an exotic getaway with the Amazing Race. 5 nights a week. Let GSN be your ultimate tour guide. The Amazing Race, Wednesday through Sunday at 9, only on GSN.